Methylene Blue. Many of you, especially the researchers out there, requested that I cover the research as it arises in regard to this dye, this blue dye, that has been around since about 1876, which has an incredibly curious effect, positive curious effect, in a huge spectrum of biological reactions. In this case, what we're looking at is the Wnt beta-catenin pathway. I know it sounds complex, but you'll get the gist of it in a little bit, and then we'll go in detail in the second half. But this is quite amazing in regard to how it impacted human follicle stem cells. So what they did is they did a study in which they took human follicle stem cells, generally in a test tube, petri dish, or whatever, and exposed it to methylene blue, and the wound healing effect it had on it was short of miraculous. Clearing out debris, helping mitochondrial activity, so on and so forth. And what this may mean for hair growth, we'll see in the future, but it looks pretty promising. So without further ado, let's get into the detailed aspects of the study itself. So as we get to the next slide, the accelerated tissue repair. I'm going to be vacillating between Gemini and Claude here. And Claude. And so here we have a great bar chart of accelerated tissue repair. Now, if we're looking at right here, is you see the 24 hours, you see the double the closure rate. You have to keep this in mind. What the methylene blue here is really accelerating that closure rate phenomenally well. And the reason it slows down just a little bit is because as the wound begins to close, you have the law of diminishing returns, Zeno's paradox, whatever you want to call it. Boom, there's not much left to do. So, but as far as the 24 hours, yes, that's correct. Overall, we'll see in a second. But that is an incredible impact on tissue repair. Now look at that effect of the Wnt beta-catenin pathway. That you want to focus on because that is going to be the key to accelerating that hair growth. And if you look at the translation, researchers intentionally scratch a layer of human hair cells to mimic damage. The cells, given a tiny dose of methylene blue, moved and healed the gap almost twice as fast as the untreated cells. To proceed forward, there's the acceleration of the hair cell proliferation, just to give you a little bit of visual cue, and that is quite amazing on its own. The data says, quote, is undeniable. Says the dye reproduced nearly 50% faster than the hair follicle cells treated with the dye reproduced nearly 50% faster than the untreated cells, meaning the tissue is radically increasing its capacity to grow hair. Again, keep in mind, this is not in a living organism. This is still in a lab. So as we proceed forward, all right, let's get into the study. Methylene blue may help protect hair follicle stem cells from aging and metabolic stress. Remarkably, now keep this in mind. You see GLP-1 on here because GLP-1 medications seem to have a really detrimental effect on the human follicle stem cell itself. So in order to counteract that, welcome methylene blue. Here we go. So treatment with methylene blue protected the human follicle stem cells from GLP-1 RA-induced metabolic stress and premature cell death. Not a lot of people were aware of that. Using cultured human follicle stem cells, the researchers found that methylene blue significantly enhanced stem cell proliferation and viability while reducing intracellular reactive oxygen species. Importantly, methylene blue also increased the activation of beta-catenin, however you want to pronounce it, it's fine, signaling a central pathway involved in hair follicle regeneration. Stem cell maintenance and wound repair. Functional scratch assay experiments further demonstrated that methylene blue accelerated wound closure and regenerative activity of these human follicle stem cells, and that is an understatement cultures. Overall, quoting, these findings identify methylene blue as a multifunctional therapeutic candidate that reduces oxidative and metabolic stress while supporting human follicle stem cell mediated hair regeneration. I'm going to go to the conclusion. I think in the full study here, a healthy scalp provides the essential soil for hair growth, while human follicle stem cells act as regenerative seeds, great way of putting it, that enable follicle renewal and regrowth. By protecting the scalp microenvironment and supporting human follicle stem cell function, methylene blue reinforces both crucial aspects of the healthy hair ecosystem. Additionally, methylene blue's broad antimicrobial properties may help restore a balanced scalp microbiome, which is increasingly viewed as a factor in scalp conditions like dandruff, seborrheic dermatitis, and atopic dermatitis. These findings position methylene blue as a versatile molecule that defends the scalp and hair follicles, complements conventional treatments such as minoxidil, really powerful synergistic effect with that, and shields human follicle stem cells from metabolic and pharmacologic challenges, i.e. GLP-1 medications, fostering a resilient, healthy scalp environment. Now, enter methylene blue. So here we have it. So this gives you a little bit of a history of the medical uses currently for this dye since 1876. And see, the big thing you want to hear, look, is the Wnt beta-catenin activator, UV photon shield, sounds like Star Trek, and the GLP-1 metabolic guardian itself. And as well, too, it works as a mitochondrial antioxidant. Again, even though it's been around for a while, we're really now beginning to delve deeply into methylene blue. So, proceed with caution. Incredibly effective there overall. Now, the beta-catenin master switch. I wanted to do this little graphic here because you want to know what this is, because that gives a greater respect towards how the methylene blue seems to work very positively in rebooting this particular pathway to get this hair to grow. Translation, if you want to cure hair loss, you only have one biological mission. Well, let's say pick one biological mission. Figure out how to stop the stem cells from destroying its own beta-catenin, so the hair follicles can stay in the active growth phase. Enter methylene blue. So it keeps things, without interjecting publisher bias, young and vibrant. All right, to proceed forward, what exactly is happening? All right, it's something we wake up every morning and say, mitochondrial health maintained, reactive oxygen species, 60% decrease, Wnt beta-catenin pathway, regeneration enabled, 60% increase, and of course didn't mess with anything else. So it kept everything else in a really good metabolic state. It just basically got things moving again, or a word, reboot. All right, from benchmark, from bench to bottle. I'm going to leave this up there. I'm not going to quote much on it or quote or read through, because this is really into utilizing, people want to know methylene blue, how may it be used in the future? Hint, hint. And so this gives you a little bit of a breakdown of how it may actually work. And also too, I want to give you a little bit of a difference here between Claude AI models and Gemini advanced AI models, because people are going to go, well, it said double the rate. Well, Claude is kind of like your, how would you describe it? The you look at Sheldon and Big Bang Theory and the Borg. So Claude is like, you're basically your Sheldon, Big Bang Theory, and the Borg, where advanced Gemini is kind of like Neil Tyson and Will Ferrell booted up on Adderall. So, a little funny. I solved the problem in Gemini Advanced, and Gemini Advanced responded by going, hell yeah. That puts Gemini Advanced in the entire picture right there. So if you look right there at the 24-hour period, yeah, you go from 200 to 400,000. That is double. So again, it's not that Gemini Advanced was incorrect. It's basically where along in that timeline that it's decided to pick its double rate. And there it was. Because you notice on the Claude, it's not as dramatic. It says 27%. Well, you see the picture. All right, through the pictures. Now we're going to go right into the details of the study itself. So that gives you the general gist. Here we go in for the researchers, the data analysts, and so on and so forth. And people want to eventually validate the study itself. The one-sided brief for 50% reduction in the reactive oxygen species. This gives you an idea of the citation, so on and so forth, which will also be linked, as well as these infographics, which I'll put on clinicalnews.org. I'll do the Claude one and the advanced Gemini, so you can work with both of them as you need fit. All right, the validation architecture, look at the p-value there. That is, now I'm not talking 0.05, we're talking 0.00001. All right, that's almost nanomolar on itself. All right, so here we go. Actually, the bad pun on that. All right, there you give an idea. It needs to be moved to human trials. The interrogation matrix, it is not sci-fi. That's the way they broke down the study itself. And the effect in GLP-1-R1R expression is confirmed. The hair and the wound growth rate is accelerated. Basically, the catenin and pathways are activated. The reactive oxygen species are reduced. And of course, the cell health is reserved on its own. All right, the dermatological and clinical briefing. All right, again, this is for researchers and not medical advice and so on and so forth. But if they want to pursue it, this is what they want to look at. And I'm not going to read into it right there, but a lot of the research, you're going to be looking at the GLP-1RA aspect there. And there's your translation. All right, and then what breaks and what heals. Again, detailed. You're looking at basically what breaks and what heals. The regeneration is going to be the most important thing for the layman. And there you have it right there as far as what breaks versus what heals. Thank you, Claude. Phase 2 clinical trial, Gemini and Claude both came out to the same conclusion. You want to bring this to a living organisms or people trial, it's going to be about $5 million. So, I know we spend lots of money on lots of stuff, but you may have to wait a little while. $5 million in the research community is still quite a challenge. Glossary. All the terms that were reviewed for the non-scientist and for the scientist. Trust me, I have to look often myself just to make sure I know what I know. All right, there it is, especially like the Wnt beta-catenin, whatever you want to call it. And there you have it right there as far as your glossary. If you want to freeze the screen to look through it and reverse backwards. And then the major takeaways, which basically a lot of people be looking at, is the low dose combination, potentially with minoxidil in the future. Can it be used on its own? Well, it was showed you, at least in the lab setting, it did what it did on its own. So there you have it. Now with minoxidil, I'll have that in the infographics on clinicalnews.org. And it's really, really impressive if people are taking that route. How it worked against mitigating the impact of GLP-1-1RA impact. Wow, real promising. And that's going to trigger the attention of a lot of medical professionals. And methylene blue is one of the most powerful antioxidants for the mitochondria itself. But if you read through there, it gives you a much greater perspective and respect for this little dye that's been around since 1876. Again, incredible, incredible research. I can't give it enough time that it really deserves respect-wise, but you got to give gratitude to the researchers. Wonderful, wonderful detail. That p-value of 0.0001 is an incredible outcome of the study itself. Now to move it to human trials or living organism trials. But again, gratitude. I am humble you watch. Look forward to see what both you and I discover next week. I know a lot of people have been taking the methylene blue and put in their, I'm not saying anything, but again, it is just really cool. Future living trials have to be conducted. Even though it looks promising as heck, you still, again, you want to validate, and that's where science and testing comes in. Again, gratitude, thank you, and look forward to seeing what you and I both discover next week. Catch you next time. Bye.